Yeah, we are back. So now voice is clear, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So anyone can explain the client server in very layman's term because that is very basic for your web applications or websites. How it works. So yeah, client request. Yeah, that is true. So now also my internet is working good only. I checked. That's why I was like little offline. I checked. Okay, let me know when it is breaking. So the client server works as like client sends a request, server acknowledges that, and then it returns the acknowledgement to the client again. And then based on the request of the client, it stores the data sent into HTTP or HTTPS request, and the client also acknowledges that we have received your information. So this is the whole flow for client server architecture. So you all know about HTML, CSS, right? That is very basic, so I'm not going to go deeper. So you should know the difference between uh, HTML and HTML5. So anyone can tell me like what is the difference between HTML and HTML5? So in HTML, we had many things that were missing. Like in basic HTML, we didn't able to share the medias. So it was basic and it was mostly about the text. And also like we lack the semantic tags. Like right now we use section, article, headers and everything. So these are the basic syntax that is available in HTML5. So that's why we write uh, under means exclamation mark doc type in the top of the HTML, because it signifies that you are working with HTML5 and supports all the semantic tags based on HTML. So that is the only difference we have. Have you, any one of you have worked with SEOs, like how you manage the SEOs and everything? No. So SEOs, you just have to like based on your website, you have to add the description of each page. Just like you add the metadata in the head, right? HTML, then heads under that you link the CSS, and then you add metadata there. So metadata works as like it shows you the page and also the request. So whenever you are accessing some page, it has some metadata. So based on metadata, it detects the description, that tags that you are working with, and based on the tags and the description you have provided in the metadata, it ranks your website, and also it depends on the clicks. So if you have good description, good tags based on your website, and good lower clicks also, sometimes it works based on description. But if you have good CTAs in your website, it will rank higher in Google or any other search engine. So that is very important whenever you are working with websites. So first requirement will be like you have built your website, right? Now make it on the top. So you have to work with the SEOs. So we'll also do that in whenever we are working on that. Okay. So whenever you are working with any HTML or CSS, have you ever used CSS variables? Because that will be very extensively used in later half. Otherwise, I'll tell you.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry to interrupt in between. Hi, Prakash. Good evening.
Hi, right.
Is the session is recording also? Okay.
Uh,
Another.
yes, after 10 minutes, I remembered like I have to record. Yeah, but
Okay.
it's recording. It's nothing important in this session also. We are just going through what we know and what we have to do.
Okay. Okay. Works.
Yeah,
Works.
but I'm
So,
recording, so it will be shared, the
ye-
parts of which I'm recording right now.
yeah. So, what's the number of participants? Like, how many participants are there?
Except
20,
me and you, it's 28.
28. So, there are 40 members.
So
So,
40 are
that's it.
missing.
Yeah. So, no issues, bro. You can continue with the session.
Okay.
Thank
This
you.
is
Sorry
very,
to.
yeah, yeah, not a problem. Anytime.
Yeah. So,
This is very plain session, so I'm not bothering about like who is missing.
then fine, fine, not an issue. Okay, thank you.
So yeah, as I asked, anyone worked with CSS variables like how we write? Anyone can write in the description, like description. Anyone write in the message. Sorry. You can see in the message box. So the first line shows like how we how we make the variable, and second line is like how we use the variable in the CSS. So every time if we are working with any dark mode or light mode or any other kind of projects, so and everyone basically prefers this variable. So anytime anything changes based on the theme, the variable colors also changes. For making the CSS dynamic, we use this. So if you have worked with Tailwind or Bootstrap, you have means you'll get to know whenever we are configuring it. So we have to make use of these variables instead of like direct colors. Anyone having any confusion on CSS Flexbox? I'm just passing some topics so that we can start with the important things. Anyone having any issue with CSS Flexbox or something? Okay, let me share my screen. It's visible, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so anyone having any issue on CSS styling or CSS Flexbox? Because I don't want to like spend much time on CSS. If no, then we can move forward. Yeah, what are the different ways to make the website responsive? There can be multiple ways. What is the most basic and like huge thing that makes the website responsive?
Making the layout fit mobiles.
Sorry.
The layout can change to different devices.
Yeah, but how you know that
Um,
these screen size responds to this kind of screens?
we can get the dimensions of the device, the current viewing size,
Yeah, that is
and
true.
according to that,
Yeah, yeah,
we can tell.
yeah, that is true. But how you checks in the because in website or like in web development, everything you have to do by your own. So how you gonna see like whether this screen size is 640 or 1080 or something? For that, mostly we make use of media queries in CSS. I guess many of you have worked with media queries. Okay. The next one was that only. So media queries works on the size. So you can give the minimum and maximum size. So it's just a basic introduction. So I'm not giving you any code. I just want to know like where we stand right now. Okay. So based on media queries, we can do the second option is like Windows. Whenever you're working, if you have ever worked with cache or something in Windows and React, so there will be one thing like Windows dot. So from that also, but that code gets very messy. So we mostly make use of media queries only, or like if you are working any third party applications from like Tailwind or Bootstrap, it's much easier. Okay. So the main haunting scene starts from here. It will be just a Q&A session of JavaScript. So everyone is ready, right? And in this Q&A, I'll be asking some question that is always asked in uh, interviews. So you have to know that no matter what. You have to always remember. Okay, what is the difference between double equal to and triple equal to in JavaScript? The basic question you will ever get. Because in other languages we just make use of double equal to, and but in JavaScript we have both the option double and triple equal to. Anyone?
comparing only data types as well as values.
Sorry, one compares value and others also compares type. True. Yeah, that is one thing in JavaScript. So one more question: is JavaScript uh compiled language or interpreted language? Anyone?
It is an interpreted language.
What?
It's an interpreted language. It leads line by line.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it makes use of Java interpretation terminal also, but 99% time it's like statically typed. Means interpreted only, but it depends on the uses also because it supports the dynamic hosting. So that is one more thing. Have you ever heard of hosting in JavaScript? So I have given like more than 50 interviews till date, including all internship, and this question will always be there. What is hosting in JavaScript? Anyone? Okay, so hosting is mostly about the behavior of JavaScript, where like JavaScript is dynamically typed. There is no use of int, string, or anything. So for that, hosting in JavaScript makes the variables and the function declaration, not the function body, only the function declarations at the top of their scope. So whenever they are compiling, so they will have undefined values, but they will be at the top, so that if you are making any variable with keyword where in the down, and if you are using in the above line, so it will not show any error, but it will come as undefined because it checks for the variable and it is not initialized yet. And the only difference between these three, where means where, let, and const, is like whenever a hosting is done, where is initialized with undefined values, but let and const you have to use after the declaration only because they are not initialized, they are just declared at the top. So it will show errors for the let and const area. You will not find anything with the where. So that's why, like, these days people don't use where, always make use of let and const. Yeah, it's not only function, but all the variable and functions, everything will be at the top. So there are three main topics. This, let me give you one more. Anyone know about this closures? Okay. So closer we'll discuss later because it will require some coding. Okay. You can also check for like can access parent variable and child function of the parent is completely executed. Yeah, true. That is true. So anytime if you are declaring any variable in a function and you are writing an inner function, so inner function will always have access to all the variables outside its scope also, like inside the outer variable. If the outer variable is cleared from the memory also, it will have the inner function will have the access to the variables. So always it's never used, but it's a concept that always like stucks. So you have all worked with promises and Axios. Mostly you have worked with Axios, I guess, for API calling and everything. Okay, can you, yeah, fetch is built on promises only, so it's just a outer function for promise. So yeah, it has more functionality and more cleaner to use. That is one advantage of using fetch. Do you know what is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous uh, calls? Anyone? Difference between these two? This waiting, okay. DOM manipulation we don't know. Get. The next will be get. So anyone uh, knows about this synchronous and asynchronous calls? You must have read this on operating systems and many places, I guess. So I'll tell you. So the synchronous calls are mostly blocking calls. So you have three calls at a time. Call A, call B, and call C. So until unless A is executed, the B and C will be waiting for their respective upper halves. So when A is executed, B will be in pending state, and then when B is fulfilled, then the C will go. But it doesn't happen with asynchronous calls. So mostly we work with asynchronous until unless we have some dependencies. So asynchronous, like if you have three API calls, the three API call will be called at once, and whoever gives the response will be sent back to the client. So we'll have the queue for that. So if call A, call B, and call C are there, so call A will have a queue, will be inserted into the queue along with call B and call C. So based on the queue, we'll decide the function call, and it will be stored in a stack. So stacks will be containing the responses. So whenever call a response come, it is returned, and top stack is cleared. Same way for B and C. So this way the JavaScript works with asynchronous call. Have you ever worked with map reduce filter? And what a map reduce filter means, these functions called as. Have you ever thought about this? Array methods? No, these are not only array methods. These are high order functions, or you can say that these are high order arrow functions. So mostly nowadays we work with arrow function in JavaScript. So whenever we work with, or we have to traverse, or we have to perform anything in not arrays, like it can be a list, objects, or anything that is in a like sequence. So we make use of these high order functions. Like a map is basically for traversing the whole list. Filter is like having some like condition, and you have to apply and you have to return something. And reduce is like you have to perform some action, and you have to return a single value, or like you have four numbers in an array, and you have to perform addition, and you have to return. So we make use of reduce there. We don't make use of map and filter. Yeah, the main concept of JavaScript. What is event loop? This is very important question in terms of like your understanding also, and in terms of interview. What is an event loop in JavaScript? Just now I gave you a brief about this only. Handle asynchronous operation, but how? There are some methods to perform. There are multiple ways where JavaScript can do that, but event loop is the main way it does internally. Anyone can unmute also and talk to me about this. So just now I talked about uh, event means queue and stack, right? So the event loop is a basic mechanism of JavaScript that handles the asynchronous code, as Vishwa told. So it makes use of like stack and queue. So it checks the function stack. So every function will be there in the stack, and the responses, and it will have a task queue. So if the stack is empty, it pushes the new task from the queue to the stack. So as I told you, in the queue will have all the function and its uses, and in the stack will have the response for those things. So whenever we get the response, the stack is cleared, the queue is marked as done, and it ensures like there is no blocking system in there. That is one thing. Have you ever heard of memoization in JavaScript? It's very out of the blue question. See, if we have to go with JavaScript, it will never be an ending topic. So I'm just asking some questions so that everyone should know like what we should. These things are necessary in terms of interviews, and you have to thorough with three main things. First is arrow function. Always remember how to write the arrow function. Second is like make use of map reduce filter. Always remember how to use these things. Map reduce filter, very important. And the third thing is uh, how to manage the API calls in JavaScript. That's it. If you are okay with these three things, we are good to go for the next one. Yeah, there is one question. So we'll go with Git and GitHub now. So first thing is like, what is the difference between Git and GitHub? Anyone? Git CLI, GitHub code storage online. Not only CLI. I'll tell you. So the Git is just a versioning a system. So whenever we perform anything, so it remembers all the versions, all the commits. As you know, in Git we have commits. So it remembers all the commit. It tracks everything. So that is Git. And GitHub is like collaboration area where we collaborate with the team, where we share the code base with other team. So GitHub is that. So Git is the version control and like tracking the history, and GitHub is the collaboration of Git. So whenever you are working with GitHub, the internal process is Git only. Indirectly, you are contributing to Git. That's the thing. Anyone who have done their PRs in their work or like anytime, because I remember also when the first time my PR got merged on my production to the first startup. So that was like very nice. That was a good feeling. So anyone who have made their PRs, anything like a small UI fix or a full functionality to the production or like to the development storage. Yes, PR is called as pull request only. So we developers will be judged based on our PRs. You will never be judged based on your work. Whatever you are doing, if you are creating a PR and that PR is not being merged or have negative impact, that will create a negative impact on you also. So PR is like our work directory. Just now you have work directory with uh, video also. So that is developers web work directory. And also like try to maintain your GitHub personally also. That will help you to get some internship or interview positive feedbacks like you have worked on something regularly. Don't make a commit of like uh, adding some comment and removing some comment or something like that. That gives a bad impact. Create some meaningful PRs or like commits in your projects or like whatever project you are working or whatever you are doing for your own. So everything should be tracked on your GitHub. That is your basic thing that if you want to have a good job. So PRs will have some hands-on, and then okay. Anyone who have worked from scratch and built some applications that is working now also and can share me the link. It can be a static website or it can be a full-fledged web application, not a problem. Because every time if you are creating anything, it should be public until unless you are working on some freelance projects. So everything should be public. Your portfolio. Okay. You shared me the link, but do you have any link for your working, like any website or anything that you can show? Okay. So let me share mine. Something else. This this website I made for fun only. I thought of different thing, but I made this for my own. So as you know, I work with agents also like Jenny and everything. So I was trying to build something. I was getting bored. So I made this kind of freelance thing. So I guess it is responsive also. Yeah, it is responsive. So this responsiveness I made using Tailwind. I didn't make use of any media queries or CSS. So you can also go to this website. I have made this website as public with all the domain name and everything. Yeah, I support agent. There is nothing. Just a static website. That's it. So whenever you are getting bored, you can build these kind of things. So that will also boost your confidence also, and like you have one project for you from your boredom. So that also counts. Are you all familiar and have worked with Git and GitHub, right? Or do I have to like show you how to do that? There's some basic command. I'll just share my screen. Yeah, you can see my screen, right? Right. So there are some. See, if you have to clone anything, just git clone and the HTTPS link. This is the most basic command. Then for git, for adding, for checking where which branch you have, right? Do I have any project that I can show? Yeah. So here you can see git status is no directory. Let me check others. First you are backend. Yeah. So you can see like you will see the branch name. What is the branch name? If I'll say like git branch, so it will show all the branch that is there. So we have three branches: development, fixed dev new, and main. So anytime if you have to like change the branch, so you have to like write git checkout and the branch name. So it will be changed to branch. Now if you will do git status, it will show you are in main branch, previously you were in development. And if you want to create any new branch from the branch which you have selected, so if you want to create a new branch from main, then you can do that. Otherwise, if you have to create a branch from development branch, right, a sub branch, so you have to first go to that branch. So now this branch serves as your base branch. So whenever you have to create any new branch, so git checkout -b and the new branch. So now you are in the new branch. You can see right git status. So you are in new branch, and this new branch base branch is development, as we checked out to development and we created. So that thing is like whenever you have to create a new branch, you have to make use of this one. And coming to adding something, so if I added something here, and now I have to commit this, so I'll just git status. So now you can see like one thing is modified and you have to commit this. So just git add, either if you have one file or like or 10 files and you have to commit only one file, you can just copy paste the file name, or else if you have to go with all the files, just git add dot. Now if you can check the status, it will show in the green like it is modified and is staged. Staged means that is ready for commit. So we will just add commit -m for message and write any message, just commit. So now it will give you two things like your commit name and how many lines you have changed. So I have one file and two insertions, means two spaces there, two inter. If you have to push, so you have to make it like git push. Okay, okay, this is stream, so I have forked this. So whenever you have to push any command, you have to make use of git push. And if you want to take the new changes, just git pull. So that will uh, this will pull all the changes from your main repository to your local to your local also, so you can work with this. So these are some basic command like for creating new branch, then git add file name or dot. So anything you can write here to add into the like staging area, and then you have to get commit hyphen n and message. This is, and and the thing is like git push for pushing anything to your branch, git pull for pulling all the latest changes that is there in the git, means someone else developed something and that PR got merged, so you have to rebase those things. So first you have to use git pull, and you have to deal with the any differences that comes. So that is the most horrifying way. So I'll just share it. These command you should always remember whenever you are working or doing anything with the git. There are other way also, like we can make use of VS Code also, where I have, like, I can publish the branch directly. I have all the trackings of the request. So in this way you can do with the git. So any confusion on git, because that is very important for us whenever we will start with our project. Anyone, any issue with anything till now, like you want something more, some other topics to be discussed? Because these things I was just checking whether you know or not, and the git part was like planned, so that I gave you some insights how we gonna do this. So if you don't have anything about the topic, so we had all the fundamentals. Then HTML CSS, I didn't want to waste our time on that. I guess you know till now, and if you don't know, just text me personally also, not a problem. I'll share some resources. And JavaScript, be familiar with any kind of thing in JavaScript. You will never know what question they will ask based on JavaScript. So you have to thorough with closures, the higher order functions, the basic functionality of JavaScript, event loop, and then promises. Then we have stacks, event loop, multiple things. So if that is done, and then comes with Git and GitHub. So if you have any question on these topics, just let me know. I'll answer those, or like I'll clarify your doubts. Or later also, if you are facing any problem, just text me, and I'll call you. I'll like reply you. Anyone? Or should we end this session? At least give a thumbs up for ending the session. Okay, I guess you all were waiting for ending the session, right? Then we'll start with React from next session. I don't want to waste any other time. Uh, I have some plans for project, so you will be working on our project only, Festivas project, and that will go into production after you do so. Every contribution of yours will be the part of that project, and it will be act as a production level. So we'll work on that, and we'll also check how the things are growing in within you also, and if there is anything that is left behind from my side, just let me know. Okay. You can personally DM me also anytime, not a problem. So, okay, we are ending this session. Bye.